Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video we are going to look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, the only reason fans are going to WrestleMania 38. WWE's plan for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38. Spoiler: former AEW World Champion accidentally confirms Cody Rhodes WWE signing. WWE accidentally spoil WrestleMania 38 winners. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you are the first to know when we upload a new video. Former AEW World Champion accidentally confirms Cody Rhodes WWE signing. Cody Rhodes signing with WWE seems to be all but guaranteed now. After a lot of speculation that the two parties had come to a halt during the negotiation stage, PW Insider first confirmed the rumor of his signing. While nothing is official yet, a former AEW World Champion may have accidentally spoiled the return of Rhodes to WWE. Cody Rhodes is all set to return to WWE after 6 years away from the company. During that time, he established himself as a top talent in the independent wrestling scene. Jumping through various promotions across the globe, he would make AEW his home for 3 years before his contract expired, and he opted not to renew it. On the latest episode of Talk is Jericho, former AEW World Champion Chris Jericho seemingly unintentionally confirmed that Cody Rhodes will return to WWE soon. "I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit on the wrestling business," Jericho said on Talk is Jericho. "You're going to discover how I've been able to be Chris Jericho no matter what company I work for or where I wrestle. You'll hear how Danhausen gets to keep his name and gimmick from promotion to promotion. How Cody got to reclaim Rhodes from WWE even though he's back in WWE. It should be noted that this isn't exactly breaking news, but it's huge that his former co-worker has seemed to confirm his status. The former Intercontinental Champion is expected to make his return by WrestleMania Sunday to face Seth Rollins. While the storyline of Rollins has made many believe that Rhodes will appear on Raw, it seems unlikely at this stage. The American Nightmare's surprise return will be viewed as a WrestleMania moment, and it should be interesting to see how things play out on the second day of the event. As of now, Rollins has lost 3 different opportunities to head into the show of shows. First as the tag team champion, while his second failed attempt was to host Stone Cold Steve Austin. This past week saw his third and seemingly final attempt as he tried to replace AJ Styles in his match against Edge at WrestleMania. Are you excited for Cody Rhodes' return to WWE? Let us know in the comments section below. WWE's plan for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38. Spoiler: there have been numerous rumors regarding Cody Rhodes' expected return to WWE. He was previously reported to be facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 38. However, it is unlikely that the former AEW TNT champion will return to Raw or SmackDown before WrestleMania. A new report stated that Rhodes is locked in for the April 4th episode of Raw, which will follow WrestleMania. His return is allegedly being closely guarded by WWE, and he will be flown in privately for WrestleMania. However, as per Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Cody Rhodes will be making a surprise return at the show of shows. The current plan is to do something similar to the Hardy Boys' surprise comeback at WrestleMania 33. "Every impression I have is that he's doing the Hardys thing where you show up on the day of the show," Meltzer said. Cody Rhodes' previously reported opponent Rollins has no match announced for WrestleMania this year. The Architect has been trying to get himself inserted into a spot at the grandest stage of them all, but to no avail. Rollins claimed there would be no Raw next week if he didn't get what he wanted. This has led to speculation that Rhodes may be returning next week on Raw. However, there is no confirmation of such a plan. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the only reason fans are going to WrestleMania 38. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo feels Stone Cold Steve Austin and his storyline with Kevin Owens is the only Raw angle that has fans excited for WrestleMania. Kevin Owens caught Stone Cold Steve Austin's attention when he kept running his mouth about Texas and his hate for the Lone Star State. Owens, in fact, invited Austin to at&t Stadium so that he could embarrass the Texan in front of his home crowd. Austin accepted the challenge and announced that he would lay a beat down on Owens at WrestleMania. On this week's episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, Russo mentioned that the most compelling storyline for WrestleMania from the Red brand was the KO show featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin. He argued that WWE was in a sad state because Austin was past his prime, but the company is leaning on him in order to get the fans into the building. "Bro, what is coming out of the Raw brand that people want to see? It's Austin," said Russo. If you asked everybody in that arena, from the Raw side, what are you looking forward to most at WrestleMania, they would say Steve Austin, and that's a very sad state of affairs. I mean, you're relying on a guy whose heyday was 20 years ago. He's not even wrestling a match, just being part of an interview segment, and that's the strongest element from the Raw side. Wow, somebody's not doing their job. Raw started off this week with the crowd popping for Stone Cold's entrance music. But instead of the Texas Rattlesnake, it was Kevin Owens who made his way to the ring. Owens replicated Stone Cold's mannerisms and catchphrases, instantly making him the most hated man in the building. KO went off on a tirade against Austin and declared that he would humiliate the WWE Hall of Famer at the Showcase of the Immortal. Stone Cold didn't appear on Monday, but it's fair to assume he'll aim to get some revenge when he sees Owens at WrestleMania. Hall of Famer challenges Roman Reigns. The Great Khali believes his WWE history against The Undertaker makes him a contender to defeat Roman Reigns. Khali picked up a statement-making victory over The Undertaker in his first WWE pay-per-view match at Judgment Day 2006. The 2021 Hall of Fame inductee pinned the legendary superstar by simply placing his foot over him at the end of a heavy-hitting 9-minute match. In an interview with WWE India, Khali was asked to choose a winner between himself and Reigns if they went one-on-one for the first time. In response, the 49-year-old jokingly said he does not rate the Tribal Chief's chances against him. Yes, me, the Great Khali. See, if I can beat The Undertaker, does Roman Reigns even stand a chance? Standing at 7'1" and weighing 347 pounds, the Great Khali is one of the most imposing superstars in WWE history. He performed for the company between 2006 and 2014, during which time he became a one-time World Heavyweight Champion. The Indian superstar's last WWE in-ring appearance came in 2018 when he lasted 31 seconds in the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia. The Shield defeated Justin Gabriel, the Great Khali, and Zack Ryder on Raw on March 25, 2013. The finish saw Rollins pin Gabriel after Reigns knocked Khali off the ring apron in the closing stages of the match. Khali attempted to gain revenge on all three Shield members moments after the 3-minute contest. However, with Gabriel and Ryder unable to help, he soon found himself on the receiving end of a triple powerbomb. The WWE legend's only other televised in-ring confrontation with Reigns came in 2014 when the Shield worked together to eliminate him from the Royal Rumble. WWE accidentally spoil WrestleMania 38 plans. WWE Champion Brock Lesnar and Universal Champion Roman Reigns are set to face each other in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 38 in a massive championship unification match. Another major bout set to take place at WrestleMania 38 is between SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair and 2022 Women's Royal Rumble winner Ronda Rousey. A recent advertisement from WWE has revealed the post-WrestleMania 38 plans for both Lesnar and Rousey. The company recently sent out a tweet promoting ticket sales for this year's Hell in a Cell Premium Live event, which is set to take place on June 5, 2022, at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. The promotional graphic used in the tweet features several top stars, including Ronda Rousey, confirming the UFC Hall of Famer's comments that she'll be sticking around full-time with WWE after WrestleMania 38. Other names advertised include Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Bobby Lashley, Edge, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. However, one missing name is the current WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. The Beast Incarnate has been heavily featured on the promotion's weekly programming, rarely missing any shows over the last few months. The advertisement for Hell in a Cell 2022 could hint that Lesnar might be taking a little break in June. Former Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey made her grand return to WWE earlier this year as a surprise entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble. This was her first WWE appearance since WrestleMania 35, where she dropped her title to Becky Lynch in the main event, also involving Charlotte Flair. Rousey went on to win the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. While fans initially expected her to reignite her feud with Becky Lynch, the most dangerous woman on the planet challenged Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The two stars are set to face each other on Night 1 of WrestleMania. As for Brock Lesnar, he first lost his WWE Championship to Bobby Lashley at WWE Royal Rumble 2022. However, he returned as the final entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble match later in the night and won the contest. Next night on Monday Night Raw, Brock Lesnar announced that he'd be challenging Universal Champion Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 38. Last month at WWE Elimination Chamber 2022, Brock Lesnar won back the WWE Championship inside the chamber. Following this, the match between him and Reigns was changed to a winner-takes-all title unification match. The two are set to main event Night 2 of